All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hey, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for tuning in the backyard, Pastor Perryman. Hey, today is a beautiful day. Today is an exciting day. It's a lovely day, but man, it's also a rainy day here in Palmdale. So we had to come inside and just trying to get everything together here. It's been a little bit of a challenge for me this morning, but nevertheless, we are ready to go today. So I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to share. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to tag. I need y'all to invite. I need y'all to start a watch party this morning. Get other people to come on and be a part of In the Backyard with Pastor Perryman. And man, we're going to have a great time in the Lord today. So I need y'all to share. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to tag. I need y'all to invite. I need y'all to start a watch party today. Get other people to come on and be a part today. So today is going to be a fantastic and phenomenal day. I pray each one of you had a great Christmas. My family and I had a really good Christmas, and see the smile on my wife's face with the gifts and things like that she got was a blessing. But also, everything was a tremendous blessing just to see our members on yesterday get their certificates and awards yesterday. Just really blessed me. I gotta be honest, it really blessed me. So y'all give me a quick second. I gotta get this stuff put together properly, and then we're gonna get to it. All right? Gotta get this together. Just I don't like stuff when it ain't right. So I'm working on it today. So y'all share, like, tag, invite, start a watch party today. Hey, shout out to Miss Crystal is on today. My wife, Pastor Sophia, is on. Miss Shamika Bogart is on today. Miss Shirley Powell is on today. Miss Teresa Wells is on today. Good to see you guys listening. I will come back and say good morning, but I got to get to it this morning. Hey, Miss Karen Yates is on. My cousin Robert Perryman is in the house. Miss Diane King is in the house. Good to see you guys. Miss Abigail Yates, you know I love you too, boo. And Miss Tiffany Barnes is on today. Good to see you guys. So let me get to it. I was listening one time to a testimony or a story from my mother that told this where she tells me how we end up or how our families end up moving from the country in Mississippi to moving to town. And the story was fascinating to me. She told me how that my uncle, Ernest Perryman, was getting ready to be crowned deacon, and my grandfather drove tractor on the plantation, and he went to his boss and asked his boss for the day off so that he could come and see his son be crowned deacon. Unfortunately, his boss was telling him that the work was too important, and so he wouldn't give my grandfather the day off. My grandfather was hurt by it, but to make matters even worse, his boss put him next to the church and made him plow the field next to the church where his son was being crowned deacon. And everybody could look out and see my grandfather on the tractor going back and forth, and he's not able to go in and to see his son be crowned deacon. My mother tells the story that my grandfather comes home from work and tells my grandmother and tell her, pack up the house, we are moving. And my grandmother is looking like, huh? He said, pack up the house, we are moving. And my grandfather leaves the house, and at that moment he goes and finds a place for them to live. Not only did he find a place for them to live, but he went uptown and he found a job. So I'm listening to my mother tell the story how that is how we got out of the country and to live now in the town in Itta Bena. And I looked at that at the beginning as that's a change. We needed a change. But then I started to realize that it also was a fresh start. There are many people who are watching me today that you've been thrust into a season now where you need a fresh start. This fresh start is not something that you are desiring of your own, but it seems as if you're being pushed that direction. For some of you, you call the fresh start a change. But the reality is the change is not a change at all. A change is not a fresh start. A change is where you just say, I'm just going to leave a job and go to another job, change jobs because this job will pay me more money. But you're still in the monotony of everything else. A fresh start is where you have gotten to a point in your life and you said, you know what? A change in job, a change in salary, change in pay is not going to do it for me. I need a fresh start in life altogether. And so here you are. God is introducing you to a fresh start. This fresh start is important now because this fresh start that God is introducing you to is not just about you, it's about the generations that are attached to you. Now, even though I don't know anything about living in the country, people think that because I lived in the IBM, that we lived in the country. I didn't live in the country. I lived on Al Thomas Circle, 104 Al Thomas Circle. You understand? Zip code 38941. That's where I lived. I lived in Ivoryland Apartments, apartment B15 apartment in Ivoryland Apartments. You understand? So I never lived in the country. I don't know what country living is like. Never hunted. Been fishing twice, you understand? And I don't really know much about fishing, don't know nothing about hunting, don't know nothing about any of that. So I didn't live in that. But what the decision that my grandfather made years ago is what got me to this place that I am today. The fresh start that God is introducing you to is not even about you. It's about what he wants to do through you, because there are generations attached to you. There are lives that need to be transformed and changed that you don't see. But the fresh start that God gives you is not just a breath of fresh air for you, but it is also a part of his plan for those who are connected to you. Watch this now. The Bible tells us the story now. Here God now is bringing the children of Israel out of Egypt. Him bringing the children of Israel out of Egypt was not just for them, but it was for the generations to come. It was also based on the promise that he gave Abraham in the beginning. He tells Abraham that no surety that your seed will be a stranger in a land which is not theirs. They'll be afflicted for 400 years, but here's what he says. He said, but I'm going to bring them out, and I'm going to bring them out with great wealth and great substance because I promised you that I would do it for you. This is why the promise of wealth to you is so important. It is because God made a promise to Abraham way back then that he said that I would make your generations wealthy. So watch now. It's a fresh start that God has given the people. But here's what we have to understand, that the fresh start is more than a fresh start. It's really a paradigm shift. I know Miss Shamika Bogart is watching us today, so she'll have a clue and understand a deep revelation about a paradigm shift. But let's go to it anyway. See, a paradigm shift is nothing more than information. It's nothing more than new information that has been introduced that changes the landscape, topography, that changes a culture, that changes a community, that changes a city, that changes a nation. It's new information that's introduced that changes the landscape, it changes the meaning of everything. In a sense, it introduces a new meaning. Watch now. This is important now. Because most people don't understand paradigm shifts until they need one. Okay, let me give you an example. Years ago, people would get accused of crimes and get put in jail. Somebody would say, especially in the South, somebody of another race would say, oh, he raped me. And there's no evidence, there's no proof. And so this person now gets hung on a tree, or this person get put in prison. And so now all of a sudden this person is in prison for 30 and 40 years. But then a paradigm shift comes along. What's the paradigm shift? The introduction of testing DNA comes along and proves that, wait a minute, we got the wrong man in jail. This person been in jail 25, 35, 40 years for a crime that they didn't commit. So watch this now. A paradigm shift hit. And so now all of a sudden it changes topography, it changes a nation, it changes a culture, it changes a community now. So now the person who was once in jail now gets released now because of a paradigm shift. I'm talking to somebody today because you think that God is giving you a fresh start for you, but it is not about you. It's a paradigm shift that he is introducing into this world and into this nation and into your genealogy. Because if you don't make this fresh start, if you don't take this leap of faith, that you are not going to set it up for the generations who will come for you, who will come after you to go to their next phase. Watch now. Paradigm shift also is the introduction of the internet. It used to be that you had to go to school to learn how to file. I know some of y'all born in this day and age, you don't know nothing about that. Well, when I was in high school, we had a library teacher. I forget what her name was. She was a big-time Christian. I remember as a little boy, she was a Christian, and she was staunch about being a Christian. She hated the fact that they took Christ out of Christmas and put an X, that she hated that. And I'll never forget, she hated it so bad. And I'll never forget now, she would teach us when we had to go to the library. She would show us how to file certain things. If we got a book, which if we needed to get a book, she'd teach us how to go into the file cabinet, look for that particular book on these little small cards and how to put it back. Then as we got older and we got out of school, then all of a sudden you start to see these classes pop up at some of these business schools that taught you to do data entry processing and all of those things. But watch this now. All of this stuff is obsolete because the internet came along. The internet brought a paradigm shift. The way we conduct business, the way we do business is based on everything that is shifting with the internet today. I'm talking to people today. There are people today, you refuse to go with the fresh start. You refuse to go with the paradigm shift. And because you refuse to go with the paradigm shift, you are constantly left behind. Well, this internet stuff, I don't know how to do this internet stuff. This stuff is too hard. And you deal with it every single day. And consequently, those people who refuse to take this leap of faith are people who always get left behind. May I tell you today that this fresh start is being introduced to you because God is trying to take your life to another level. He's trying to introduce you to something that's not going to just bless you, but bless those who are connected to you. So you need this fresh start, not just for you, but for what he wants to do for you. Watch now, the Bible says to us like this: eyes have not seen, nor have ear heard, and neither have it entered into the heart of man, the things that God hath prepared for them that love him. So here's what God has. God has a prepared place for a prepared people with prepared purpose attached to it. But here's what you have to do. You have to take this leap of faith. For some of you, doors are starting to close on you. And it's because God is trying to introduce you to something different. For others of you, the COVID-19 hit and it reset everything about you. It resets your ideology about things. It resets your ideology about your health. It resets your ideology about education. It resets your ideology about relationships. It resets your ideology about finances. It resets your ideology about everything because everything started to close on you. Everything started to shift on you. Everything started to just shut down on you. And you had the mentality, where do I go from here? What do we do from here? And so here's what God is doing. He's resetting you because a fresh start he's giving you. And there are people today who are fighting. People in the religious world are fighting the fresh start that God is giving. I can't tell you how many people in church today refuse to go with the new narrative, the new norm that God has introduced. Even though there's an increase of people being added to the ministry, people are still so caught up in the way that they used to do business. I can't wait to get back up in the building. I can't. I can wait. I can wait. Let me say, Reverend can wait. Reverend can wait. Let me say it to you one more time. Reverend can wait. Reverend can wait. But pastor, you don't want to be in the building. I didn't say that, but I can wait. I can wait until God sounds the all clear alarm. I can wait. I can wait. I can wait till God sounds the all clear alarm. Let me say it one more time. Reverend can wait until God sounds the all clear alarm. I can wait because I understand that if I do something that God is not in, I bear the brunt of the responsibility. The weight and the burden is on me. I can wait. When I was a kid growing up in Ellis Rogers, going to Ellis Rogers Elementary, they would tell us when you hear this alarm system sound at school, they tell us if you hear one or two, that means that you got to assemble at this place and you have to assemble with your teacher, you understand, so you could be counted. They were practicing for tornadoes and things like that, for earthquakes or what have you, and these alarms would sound. And immediately you have to stop doing what you were doing and go to your staging area, your assembling area. So I never forget, we were out there in our assembling area, and I'll never forget, Ms. Hutchinson is counting us. And you're going, okay, all of my students are here. And she go to the other teachers, are either your students missing or your student? And Mr. Roberts was our principal. He come out there and he checked with every teacher and they would say, yes, all students are present and accounted for. And then all of a sudden somebody in the office will hit the bell and the all clear alarm will sound. And so now all of a sudden now, We can go back to we can go back to what we were doing before, going back to Miss Hutchinson class, Miss Moore class, or Miss Roberts class, or whatever class you was in. You just went on back to your class. You went back because the all clear alarm had been sounded. And there are people today, God has not sounded the all clear alarm. And because he's not sounded it yet, that means it's not clear. So here we are. We're forcing the issue. I forget this pandemic. I'm going to still have me a birthday party. I'm going to invite all of them over here. Pookie them, Ray, Shanika them, Jose them. I'm inviting all of them. George, Rubio. I'm inviting all of them. Tada knocking them. All of them coming over here. And we're going to just have a good time. But you forgot that the all clear alarm has not been sounded yet. Which means the COVID is still here, which means people are still dying every day, which means now things are not back to normal. God is resetting every single thing so that we can grow, so that we can go into the next phase of our lives. And many people don't want the paradigm shift that God is bringing. This has nothing to do with you, but it has everything to do with what he wants to do in the next phase of your life and everybody else's life. So the paradigm shift is here. So God is resetting people. He's giving people fresh starts. He's introducing himself to people like never before. He's showing people that he can love them in spite of a pandemic. People are coming to understand that in the midst of a pandemic, that if God don't show up to turn it around in their lives personally, if God don't show up to heal them this morning, if God don't show up and deliver them from the pandemic, they're not going to make it. Because scientists says we don't have nothing to give you. The cure that we're giving you right now is really in the testing stages. And so we'll use you as a guinea pig. We'll use you as a guinea pig, use you as a guinea pig, use you over there as a guinea pig. You understand? And we'll give it to the first liners. We'll give it to the essential workers right now. They're on the front line. You understand that this thing ain't 100% sure that it's going to work. But you at least it gives you a fighting chance. You got 75% that it's going to work. So 75% is better than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and take this chance because I'm an essential worker. But we're not even understanding that God is introducing a fresh start. He is the one that's introducing a fresh start. And there are people who are watching me today. You don't want the fresh start. You fight. In the religious world, we fight because we want everything to stay the way that it used to be. If I don't get a chance to go to the building, I don't feel right. But then that means you are married to a building and not married to the Christ who created the building. You understand? That means you're married to a building and you're not married to the Christ who created the building. If you're married to the Christ who created the building, that means you can go to church while you're on a bus somewhere. That means you can go to church while you're taking a shower. That means you can go to church while you're at your kitchen table. If all of this, if you are just married to Christ, if you are married to Christ, then you will do the things that Christ is doing in this season. And I'm watching people push back. Not realizing that God is introducing the fresh start. He's showing you that he himself is bigger than a building. He's showing you that a lot of the religious things that we were taught down through the years were good enough for that day, but it ain't feasible for this day. Look at the amount of people that are being added to church now. From people who live in other states and live in other countries, they are now able to become members of certain churches. They're able to connect with their pastors because at the end of the day, God is not calling for you and I to look for a church. He's calling us to look for our pastors. I'm talking to somebody today. I know I'm on the religious side of this thing, but you got to hear this. You must understand this. God is not calling people to look for their church. He's calling them to look for their pastor and to connect them to their pastor. It used to be a time where you would see a person who would come to church and they'd be there 2 or 3 times and you don't know them and they there and you ask them, do they want to join the church? They say, no, I'm just visiting. I've been checking out some churches to see if I want to be a part of that. And then they'll spend 3 weeks with you over here. They go over there and spend a week and then they come back. And now they're with you 2 or 3 other weeks. And so here's my words to them. Well, listen to this. If you don't been here 3 or 4 times, and you done been to another church and you ain't found and you ain't been happy over there, but you come over here 3 to 4 times. Obviously, I must be your pastor. What's your problem? Obviously, I must be your pastor. What's taking you so long to connect? Obviously, I must be your pastor. Because see, watch now, this is the religion that we have been taught down through the years, and we're not even understanding that God is resetting people in such a way, and He's giving people a fresh start in such a way that the religious world is doing this. This is not how it's supposed to be. I'm not in this building, so I don't. How am I going to tithe? I'm not in this physical building. Well, we have the advent of technology. You can give your offering without even leaving your house. You can give your offering while you lay in the bed sleeping. You can give your offering while you're in your car. You understand? Because of the advent of technology, the paradigm shift that's taking place. It is not going back to the way that it used to be. Can't tell you how many times I done had this conversation with members. I done had this conversation with other preachers. Things are not going back to the way they used to be. They're just not going back. So your whole mentality must be that, hey, I need to get with the program. I need to go ahead on and shift. I need to go ahead on and let God reset me. I need God to retrain my thinking. I need God to change my mentality. I need God to open up my understanding so that I can see things on a different level. This thing is here. A fresh start God is introducing to you. And you got to say, today is the day. I'm going to go and take my fresh start. I'm going to go and take my fresh start. Because to take the fresh start is to look at things from a different perspective. To have a fresh start doesn't just mean that I change. It means that God moved you out of one relationship and brought you to another one. And this one you're able to breathe in. This one you're able to think in. This one you're able to enjoy your life in. This one, it's a whole new fresh start. And the relationship, I'm not talking about with another human being. I'm talking about with Him. Because there are many of you who are watching me today. You have never had a relationship with God. You've only had relationships with people. And because you've only had relationships with people, you've been let down constantly. You've been disappointed constantly. You've been hurt constantly. You've been abused mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. You've been abused sexually. You've been abused constantly. And that is because you had a relationship with men and not with the man Christ Jesus. Now God is shifting your entire life. And He's introducing Himself to you all over again. He's giving you a fresh start in this relationship with Him. You're able to breathe. In this relationship with Him, you're starting to understand what love is really all about. In this relationship with Him, you're starting to see what a real man is. It's in this relationship with Him that you're looking to see. You see what a sacrifice is all about. That He's a real man, that he went to the cross for you and gave His life for you. That he's the one that shedded His blood on Calvary's cross for you. This fresh start that God is giving you, it's really, you could call it a second wind in life if you want to call it that. What second wind, Pastor? It's when you're ready to give up and then all of a sudden the momentum shifts in your life. Some of you are starting to experience a momentum shift, and you started experiencing it around October, November, and December. October really was the focal point for you. You started to see a momentum shift where things started to shift and change for you. Where God started introducing Himself to you on another level. The enemy came to do certain things to you, turn things around between you and your children. The devil came to take you out of a relationship with your children, take you out of a relationship with your siblings, but now all of a sudden God started to shift things around. And that is because the fresh start is here. You have to go ahead on and grab that. Things are not going to remain as they were. The fresh start is here. You have to step over into this fresh start, accept this fresh start, and move on with your life, because it's in this fresh start that you learn what love is all about. You're able to breathe. You're able to look at things from a different perspective. You know beyond a shadow of doubt now that all things are possible to him that believe, because after all, the pandemic has hit and I'm an essential worker and I'm on the front lines and I'm watching people die every day. But the grace and mercy of God has hit me and it's covered me, and I ain't gone nowhere. I'm on the front lines and I have to be out here. But look at what God is doing for me. He's shifting things for me. He's turning things around for me. And I'm realizing that he's God in the midst of a pandemic. I'm understanding he's God in the midst of a pandemic. For those of you who been, your hours have been cut back and you don't even have a job at this moment, God has proven to you that he's God in the pandemic. Look at what he's done for you. He still pays your bills every month. Even when your paycheck said we don't know how this is going to get paid, he still pays your bills every month. When the money didn't show up and you needed favor, here's what he did. He gave you favor to keep your lights on, to keep you from being evicted, to keep your gas on. He gave you favor. When you didn't know how you were going to make ends meet, when you didn't know how your business was going to produce, he still showed up for you. He's God in the midst of a pandemic, and he's trying to show you that he is God, that he can be trusted. This is a fresh start with the pandemic, with the paradigm shift attached to it. This is not just about you, but this is about what he wants to do through you. And this is about what he wants to do. Let me say it again, through you. This is about what he wants to do through you. Generations will be changed because you let God introduce a fresh start to you and you didn't fight it. You didn't fight it. You didn't fight it back. You didn't go crazy with this. That you said, God, I just accept what it is you're doing in this season. That if we don't go back to a building, I'm still going to praise you because my praise is not limited to a building. I'm still going to give you glory because me giving you glory is not limited to whether I like watching something on television or not. It ain't even about that anymore, because here's what God is doing. He's introducing himself to you like never before, like never before. Some of you lost loved ones and it hurts you to the core. But guess what he's shown you in the midst of this? That he's still God and he still loves you. And he understands that even though you lost your father, even though you lost a husband, even though you lost a daughter, even though you lost a son, or even though you lost a mother, you lost a wife, whoever you lost in this pandemic, whoever you lost before the pandemic hit, he's proven to you that he is God, that he is with you, and that he promised that he would never leave you nor will he forsake you. For those of you who have gone through a hellacious relationship experience and you're wondering, God, will I ever be able to come out of this? And guess what he's shown you? That he's shown you that he's God. Even when your husband cheated on you, even when your wife cheated on you, even when you went through a hellacious relationship experience, he's still shown you that he's God. And I need people to understand that God himself wants to give you a fresh start. You've been through too much. You've been through hell and high water. You've been through difficulties in life. You've been through the storm and the rain. You have had it. You got the scars to prove it. You've been through too much. And here's what he's trying to do, is to give you a fresh start. Some of you don't even know what love is. You ain't never been in love before in your life. And he's trying to give you a fresh start. For those of you who are watching me, there are some of you today, you don't even know what it's like to even be loved. And he wants to give you a fresh start today so that you could be loved. And once he introduces this love to you and shows you that you are worthy to be loved, because there are many of you who are watching me today, you don't think you deserve to be loved. You don't think you deserve to be loved. You do not think that you deserve to be loved. You don't think that there's somebody out there who wants to love you. You look at yourself in a disdain way. You don't know how to love. You ain't never been loved, and you don't think that you deserve to be loved. I came to tell you this morning, you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved. With your flaws, you deserve to be loved. With your scars, you deserve to be loved. With your emotional insecurities, you deserve to be loved. With your heart being broken, you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be loved. And so God now wants to give you this fresh start. You gotta stop fighting back. Let me close with this part right here. When I call Sister Ruth, I always joke with her. When she answers the phone, she'll say, "Hello, Pastor." I said, "Sister Ruth, who up in here? What man is up in your house? I know somebody up in there. What man is up in there?" Now, that's my joke with Sister Ruth. "Pastor, ain't no man up in here. If he is, he better get on his side of the bed and I get on my side." I said, cut it out. Cut it out. God wants to rejuvenate you. He wants to give you a fresh start too, give you a young man. Ain't no telling what you might be doing there. And she said, "Oh, Pastor, leave me alone. Leave me alone, Pastor." That's my relationship with Sister Ruth. but here's the thing. God wants to restore the things that you have lost. He wants to introduce you again to something that you lost, but he wants to give it better to you. I'm talking to somebody today. You deserve to be loved. You've looked at past relationships and you let G-Rock tell you that nobody will ever love you. You let what he did to you injure you, and you don't think that you deserve to be loved because of the way somebody else mistreated you. Let me help you today. Your past does not define who you are today. Your G-Rock experience doesn't change. Your G-Rock experience doesn't alter who you are today. I'm talking to somebody today. You have allowed a G-Rock experience to shape the course of your life. And for some of you, you've had multiple G-Rocks in your life because you think that's all you deserve is a G-Rock. So you're already prepared for his attitude. You're already prepared for his mentality. You're already prepared for him losing control, him going to jail. You're already prepared. You prepared for that in your mind because you've been dealing with G-Rock all your life. I came to tell you today that God doesn't want you to have any more G-Rocks. You have to say this today. Today is the last day for a G-Rock in my life. I'm not getting no more G-Rocks. I'm not dealing with them no more because my life is always messed up with them. So today, I'm breathing today. God wants to give me a fresh start. So I'm breathing today. I'm breathing today. He wants to give me a fresh start. So let me say it again. So I'm breathing today. He wants to give me a fresh start. So I'm breathing today. And this fresh start has a paradigm shift attached to it. My entire life is going to change. But the people who are connected to me, their life will change because of a decision that is being made today. That's my time right there. I pray y'all were blessed this morning. And I pray y'all were excited today. So y'all do me a favor. I need y'all to share, like, tag, invite, start a watch party today. Get other people to come on and be a part, all right? I got to give some shout-outs to people. Shout out to Mr. Eric Coleman, who's on today. Miss Angie Merriam is on today. Shout out to, well, she ain't in school today. Miss Jackie Hankins is on today. Shout out to Miss Jamie Lynn, who's in the house today. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being on this morning. Listen, if I did miss you, I'm going to go back and say good morning to you. The camera's a little bit further away from me, so I really can't see all of the pictures on the screen at this moment, but I will go back and say good morning to you. I see Miss Valerie Hankins is on this morning. Shout out to my brother. I think I saw my brother Timothy Price go on there, so shout out to him. Thank you so much for being on this morning. So listen, if I missed you, I'm going to go back and say good morning to you, all right? So listen, I got to give somebody their day today. Today is Miss Abigail Yates' day. Whatever she wants, she gets. Whatever she needs gets supplied. Today is her day today. Today is my brother Timothy Price's day. Whatever he wants, he gets. Whatever he needs gets supplied. Today is his day today. And also today is Miss Shamika Bogart's day. Whatever she wants, she gets. Whatever she needs gets supplied. Today is your day. And do me a favor also. Go ahead and block the scammers who are on this morning. All right, so block them. All right, listen, I got to get ready to get out of here, but do me a favor, get your seat in the ground today. You all know the giving ways to give. There's no new people on this morning. You know the giving ways that you should give. So get that in the ground today. Listen, if you haven't downloaded our church app, do us a favor and go download our church app today. All you got to do is go to the Google Play Store, go to the Apple Store, Roku, Amazon Fire. Go there and type in Kingdom Life Faith Center. And listen and download our church app. And when you download the church app, turn on the notification, please, so that you can be aware and notified of all of the upcoming things that are taking place at Kingdom Life Faith Center. So please do that. We greatly appreciate every person who's downloaded our app. I think from my last checking, our app was downloaded about 70 sometimes now. So that's a lot. But listen, do me a favor. Let's reach more people for the cause of Christ, all right? So download the app. You can do that. It's not hard. And everything you need will be inside of the Kingdom Life Faith Center app. You want to watch messages, you want to listen to the messages, you want to know about upcoming events. Everything is within that app. So do that. We greatly, greatly appreciate you for doing that as well. Also, Trish gave me a note, some list of stuff I was supposed to say. I left the list. But anyway, y'all bear with me, so y'all know what to do. But anyway, go to the official YouTube channel of Kingdom Life Faith Center, the official YouTube channel of Kingdom Life Faith Center, and subscribe to it. And so you can be alerted when we do certain things also on there. Also, don't forget the Kingdom Life Experience podcast is tonight. It is tonight. So listen, be a part of that tonight. We're going to talk about tonight the faith that it takes to overcome challenges. So come on and be a part of the Kingdom Life Experience podcast. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. It's going to be good. And so y'all be a part of that. Also, our New Year's Eve service is coming. It's gonna be New Year's Eve night, and we're gonna do our New Year's Eve night at a service at 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. So come on, y'all be a part. Many of y'all gonna be up anyway. So come on, give us 1 hour of your time. And listen, let's get this word on New Year's Eve so you can know about the possessing our possessions, what God wants to do in this new year for you. So come on, be a part of this. I know some of you who will be watching me, you would have already celebrated the new year because you're 2 or 3 hours ahead of us. But those of you who are on the West Coast, come on, let's bring in the new year together. And we're getting better and better as we go. Praise and worship will be going on our broadcast. Big shout out to Josh too for getting into praise and worship. So appreciate y'all so much. And y'all can see that our church is growing and going. That we're not stuck and we're not stagnant like we used to be, doing just the same thing like we used to be. Hey, we're using this technology to the fullest to reach people for the kingdom cause. So y'all come on, be a part, and and let's get it. And also go to our church website, kingdomlifefaithcenter.org. The website is completely revamped and completely redesigned. So go there and look at it. We have some challenges on some things, but we got a lot of stuff worked out. And we're gonna be introducing new groups, new small groups coming up and next year, new small groups. And these small groups are going to be geared specifically for you. So you don't have to be a member of our church to connect to a small group. We got small group teachers that's going to be teaching and discussing with you. This is not going to be like a Bible study or Sunday morning thing. It's going to be more of a discussion. So we need y'all to connect with us. We're going to have all the information up on the screen. On the website pretty soon where you can sign up for a group to be a part. Our goal is no person left behind. We want to touch everybody. So we want you to sign up, be a part of a small group. Hey, we got a singles group. In that singles group, that singles leader, Miss Jackie Hankins is going to be teaching you and talking to you and discussing with you about single life, how to possess your vessel and all those type of things. For those of you who are going through grieving and processing and things like that, hey, Minister Kim is going to be leading our We Care Grief Share department in that. So, hey, it's going to be more of a discussion type thing. So you got to come on, you got to connect. My wife is going to be leading the women's department. So you sign up for this department. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. I'm going to be leading some of the men's department meetings and stuff like that, men's area, where there's going to be some discussions for men and things like that. So you got to connect. You must be a part. And we have what we call an MSG group that's coming on. The MSG group is the Mature Saints group. So if you're 50 years and older, you can be a part of the MSG group. And that is the group where the mature saints meet, and they're just going to talk about everything that's concerning the mature saints, and everything going to be kept confidential. And so when we give you out links and stuff like that to be a part, when you register to be a part, we just ask that you keep all information confidential that you talked about. All right, we don't discuss and put people down. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So I need y'all to be a part. Need y'all to participate, and also. There's going to be a better me group that's going to be a better self group. Those people who are looking to better themselves, hey, there's going to be a small group for you as well. So you got to connect. You got to be a part. It's going to be legit. It's going to be fine. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be life changing. All right. So there's going to be a group that's taking place every single week. There'll be a group taking place every single week. So you got to connect. So it's going to be on there, and we're going to have it on the line. On the website pretty soon, and you'll be able to register for a group, all right? So, hey, we love y'all. Gotta go. That's enough information to give y'all at this moment. But again, you do not have to be a member of our church to be a part of these small groups. You can connect. You can live in another state, another country. You can connect, all right? And so we appreciate y'all so very much for listening to us. And we got our leaders are ready to go. Our leaders are excited about leading and guiding in this. So it's going to be fire. So need y'all to come on, be a part. All right. Gotta go. Love y'all. But don't forget, get your seed in the ground today. All right. Be blessed in Jesus' name. And don't forget, the Kingdom Life Experience podcast is tonight. It's tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so it's going to be lit. And so going into next year, Man, the beginning of next year, we're going to probably have a wave of women that's going to be on the podcast. A wave of women going to be on the podcast. So you got to connect. You got to connect. You got to be a part. This is going to be lit. I'm telling you. So you got to be a part. And so we got to lock in a date for Miss Shamika Bogart. I'm really excited about her. But I'm really, really excited about my wife being on. So my wife got a testimony for the ages. And so she's going to be talking. It's going to be lit. So y'all got to connect with us. Connect with us, all right? Hey, I love y'all. Got to go. Be blessed in Jesus' name.